So this is an LC Creations tutorial here, and today I'm going to actually show you some stuff in this tutorial. Do just watch the simple short tutorials that I showed you before. Please, this is the fourth tutorial, and this is how to change the terrain limit of a zoo. So you can make the pretty much terrain as high as you want, really. This is not a tutorial on how to change the it is just how to change the terrain height limit of the zoo. Now, I also want to tell you guys, you will not be able to change the low minimum terrain limit of the zoo. So the terrain can go as low as you want, but you can make it as high as you want. Now, in the water, that's different. You can make the water go as low as you want, but not the other part. So let's get started. So now let's get started, and I'm gonna head on over not to the app data, but actually I'm gonna go to the Zoo Tycoon 2 directory. So let's head on over to there. So I'm in the Zoo Tycoon 2 directory already, and I'm gonna go down to find the the files that you open to hack the zoo, which are right here, and that's 300_000.z2f. And I know you probably can't see my mouse, so I'm probably having a hard time knowing what I'm doing. So I'm gonna use this for now. So you're gonna head on over to where it says world. In that one, actually, we're gonna exit this one and we're gonna go into 301 because this one has some different features. And I know it's weird, but they overrided the file in here and made it updated. So we're gonna go head on over to terrain.xml. Now, you might notice that my hack that I have published is like this, and this is what I did. I actually made a hack of this, and this is the max height, the default max height in the game. I raised mine to like 832. Now it doesn't really matter what you do. You can make it 1,598,000, or I don't even know, 9,922. Just as high as you want. You can make it as high as you want, and it probably won't make the game lag at all. You can also edit this one. Now you may see this one, node minimum height. Now you may be like, why wouldn't you be able to edit that? Well, when you edit this, whenever you load a zoo, it lowers the terrain in your zoo super low, or as low as you make it, because the node start height, which is like the height of your zoo when you start the game, that's actually, this isn't your node start height. That, you know, the outskirts of the zoo where it has like a mesh outside of your zoo that you can't walk onto, this is the start height. This is what the start height is for. This is not for the terrain of your zoo. This is the terrain outside of your zoo, if that makes sense. This is the terrain in your zoo. Now, I don't know why this is 6 and that's 13. Don't ask me why. It's computer programming and stuff. I don't understand that type of computer programming. I understand C#. That's so we have the node max height and the node min water height. Now, I did hack this, but I did not publish it. But because I am still going to publish the hack, but so people don't have to hack it themselves if they don't want to. But if they do, they can. So I actually already have a hack in the game for this. So let me head on over to that and I'll get started and show you about that. So I called mine the terrain hack, and it's the hack that I made. So let's open this up, and I'll open this up here. So BF terrain, node max height, made it 1832. That's how high you can make your terrain now. Node min height, same. I made that negative, so whenever you're doing stuff in the water, you'll also, I'm sure everybody knows in Zoo Tycoon 2 that whenever they actually they lower the water in a zoo, it doesn't go as low as it goes lower, the water can get deeper than the terrain on dry land. So you can, like I said, you can't change the terrain there, but you can change the terrain here, and it really sucks. But that's how it is. And the node start height don't change that because it'll mess it up unless you want to just be weird. All this past here, I don't know what it is. This is actually false originally, but I changed it to true so this would work. So this is this. Now, don't get confused here, because you'll notice that when you download my hack, which is like this, it's not as big as this, but the hack that I actually published is like 400 something else, and so it's not as high as this one because I should update it that I'm going to publish this hack. And so basically what you can do is you can actually go into the game, and after you hack this and you go into the game and you play the game, this is not automatically going to make your terrain be able to go up in any zoo. You also have to hack the terrain.dat file after you put this in the game. This does change a few things in the game though. It actually changes the height that elevated paths can go to, and you don't have to hack your zoo to do that. But you have to hack each and individual zoo to be able to raise your terrain in that specific zoo to this height. You can't just load up the game, play a zoo, and you'll be able to go up to this height. So after that is said, now we're gonna have to hack the zoo, and that's actually very, very, very easy. There's nothing really know how to do. It's just open it in a different software than the one in here. So now I also want to tell you that when you hack your zoo, if you have already terrain made, like if you have hills and stuff in your zoo, it will make that all flat again. Because basically what you have to do it is you have to delete all the terrain features that you've made in your zoo already. So you're probably going to want to make a new zoo and do this. But there's also some other things that you can do in a zoo that are pretty cool. So let's get started and let's do this. So I'm going to close this and I will continue and show you how to do this. So again, after you hack this or put the hack in your game in Zoo Tycoon 2, you can close this and you can, actually let's make a zoo in Zoo Tycoon 2. So we're actually going to do that right now. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm just gonna make a zoo, and let's just do a grassland large. So, here we are, and let's just kind of, I like to do this because it just kind of makes sense. You don't have to worry about the terrain, you don't need to flatten it, it's going to be flattened itself. So seriously, just don't put any time into that because it's not worth it. It's going to be flattened itself. Even the water will go away. So I'm just going to kind of go around here and zoom around and delete pretty much everything I see. Not quite everything, because plants on the ground are quite invisible because they're green as well as the grass. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, like I said, delete everything I can see, and you might see something that I miss, so just be prepared. And let's see. I missed something over here. Alright, so that should be good. There's probably still some stuff, but anyway, so I'm just gonna basically delete, sorry. Grassland Zoo. I have already one named Grassland Zoo, so I'm gonna name it Grassland Zoo High Higher Terrain file. So then I'm gonna save that zoo. And then after that, I'm gonna go into the desktop, and that's it. So now I'm on the desktop, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna again go to app data. So let's go ahead and do that. Just a minute, I'm gonna close these. And you know where to go. And then I'm gonna do, is this the one? Yeah. Should be in here. There it is. Okay. So sorry. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna open this up, and I'm gonna actually drag this onto the desktop. So it'll be right here. And then usually you would edit in this software, but it doesn't really work like that because you can only edit little part by part. So we're gonna open this with HXD hex editor. HXD hex editor. So I'm gonna put that link in the description. And then so basically you have all this stuff, and you're gonna take out the vert list. So like in the other tutorials I said, everything after the name Z biome 18 or the last biome, everything after that is basically, that's the vert list. So we're gonna delete everything after that name. So this is what it'll look like. It'll have the last, whether it's Z biome 18 or Z biome whatever there is, it's the last name, last biome. Everything after the last biome. And then just go ahead and save that. That's it. That's all you do. This will show up on your desktop or whatever, wherever you're resaving it over. Don't worry about that. That's, just delete that. And then you're gonna put terrain.dat in there. And then after that, after you do that, you could just go ahead and close this. So here we are in Zoo Tycoon 2. We're gonna load a game, and we're basically gonna load the one we just saved. So now, when it comes up, it's gonna be all distorted. Everything's gonna look weird. So be prepared. Oh wow. Oh yeah, it does. Okay. So see, like I said, everything's gonna look all weird. Shoot, I'm not gonna be able to unflatten this here. So basically what you would normally do is you would delete the zoo wall and replace it, and you'd be able to hire the terrain back to normal. And basically that's what you would do. So then that way you'd have to reflatten the whole entire zoo. I have the big huge supersized brush, so it's a lot easier for me to do this because I made the brush bigger, and I made that hack. If you want to go to my website, check it out, go ahead and you can get this hack. It's not as big. Like I said, it's not as big because sometimes it can crash the game, and sometimes people need smaller ones, so it's not as big as the one I have here. but it's pretty big. And it starts at 50%, not at like 32 or I don't know, some odd number like 32 or some odd number like that. So after you flatten the whole zoo, and you also have this flattened too, but I can't flatten it because of disabilities in the game, you will be able to hire the terrain to the height that you wish to, matching up to the height that you had made it in the thing, in your hack. And you can also make a hack to make it faster if you want, though when you're making a small hill, like way down here, oh yeah, I also made a zoom hack, by the way. So you can also do this now. You can also have like a normal view, and this is zoom hack. This is really cool. I don't know, I made the zoom hack, and I'm gonna try to see if I can make it closer to the ground, actually. And I'm gonna probably put it online. Basically, it goes to 0. Anyway, now you can basically, like, play the game and place fences in a different view. Anyway, I'm getting distracted here, I'm sorry. But when you place, because when you're going to do it like this, it's going to be super fast, so that's why you don't want to do it too big. Too fast, I mean. But basically, you can make mountains as high as you want, really, now. I also made a zoom hack that's even bigger than Snowleo's zoom hack. It goes even further out. This is actually, I think it's further out than, I don't know, I think it's further out than what Snowleo had, but I'm not sure. It's farther out, I know, than the height that I made this go up to, I believe. So, this only still, like I said, it still goes to a certain height, only. But, it's pretty good. I mean, you can basically make it as high as you want. Yeah, see, it goes higher than what you can zoom out to. So you can even just make it higher than what you can zoom out to. And whatever height that is, watch. You're like up in the clouds, but it just doesn't show you that. Oh my gosh, see, you're so high up in the air that you can't even see like anything below you. Right now you're like looking at the outskirts of the zoo. So that's pretty good. So you can basically go as high as you want, really. There's not really any limits. Oh, I've always wanted to see if this is high enough to... Yeah, so basically you can go as high as you want, and that's why I was able to make that big huge mountain. And also, now that you hacked the water, watch, water, you can go pretty much as low as you want with the water. You can make ocean trenches now. Literally ocean trenches. You can make, unfortunately, like I said, you aren't gonna have the ability to make the actual terrain go as low as you want. It only goes to a certain height. So that's pretty much that. So anyway, have a great day, and after that, actually, sorry, you're going to want to save your zoo. Obviously, you're not going to want to save it like this, but after you flatten out your zoo, you're going to want to save it. So you can use that zoo over and over and over again, and basically start your zoo like that. I'm also going to show you a tutorial after this. No, I'm going to show you. I'm going to put a tutorial in the link that I actually already made on YouTube and on LC Zoo Forums to actually delete the zoo bounds, so you can actually place objects outside of these zoo walls. Like you can take this here and you would be able to place it in this red, because the red wouldn't be there, it'd be green. And you'd also be able to place objects over here and delete the paths out here. And instead of having to go like this all the time, for every single zoo wall, instead you could just do this, because it's set a different way. Anyway, so have a great day, and yeah, goodbye.